Hey, what's going on, my hungry friends? It is now fall, and there's no better way than to cook something very delicious on a fall day or fall season, okay? We got the leaves starting to turn, it's crisp outside, Halloween's coming, and guess what? I like to make chili. Today, I'm going to make you smoked brisket chili. Let's make it. Hey, my hungry friends. Okay, so before I begin, let's go ahead and quickly go over what I got going on. I got my smoked brisket. It was overnight, so I had it in the refrigerator. And I also have a serrano pepper. I have a jalapeno. I have a habanero. I have a bell pepper, and I have an onion. Now, keep in mind, through the miracle of time, I've already had majority of already cut up. And I'm going to put the description of my ingredients inside the blog below, but do note that I did utilize 4 serrano peppers. I also utilized 3 jalapenos, 2 habaneros, and 3 large bell pepper. Additionally, I'm going to be using about a onion and a half or so to throw in there as well, okay? And the reason why I left it out like this is because I can show you how I cut it as well. Additionally, aside from the brisket, I have hot pork that I'm going to be utilizing as well. I've got all my beans, and I'll briefly go into that as I'm dumping them in, and I have all of my dry ingredients, okay? So first things first, let's go ahead and let me show you guys how I cut these veggies up. Okay, here, come here, you. Scoot that over here. Okay, so as I'm cutting my serrano, and obviously my jalapeno, just get the top off. Okay, and I'm gonna cut the serrano pepper in half. All right, so I'm cutting it lengthwise, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it lengthwise again. And you're gonna do that for all of your peppers, okay? And so it goes into fourths. Same thing with your jalapeno. Jalapeno, however you want to call it. Yeah, we're in the country, so I'm gonna call it jalapeno today. Okay, so now that you have it together, they're gonna look like, you know, like kind of dill strips. You just put them all together and just rough chop. Now be careful, friends, don't cut your fingers. I've done it a couple times. Use your knuckle, you know, obviously to use it as a guide, and you just go downward. Okay. Okay. And then we'll move on to the habanero. Same principle. You can do the same exact thing. Now, sometimes habaneros, they get a little wilted, so make sure you get the good crunchy kind. But you know, you're going to cut it the same way. Okay. Now, this got a little kick, so I like kick. People that know me know that I can do some hot stuff. And this is the one ingredient that I will kind of finally chop this thing down a little bit more. Oop, I should not be doing that. Okay, all right, so and all we're gonna do is just take your little handy dandy, God, why do I always forget what this is called? Anyhow, you put that in there, and we're gonna move on to the bell pepper, and I'll show you how to do that. Come here, you. Now I will be moving a little quicker on this one. And now bell pepper, it's real easy to cut up. What I like to do is I like to, you know, obviously stand it straight up, okay? And I'm gonna pierce it down, kind of like I'm peeling this thing, but with the knife. And I'm going to try to evade most of the rind behind it. But you just do this. Okay, we're almost done. And what you're going to have, oops, wasn't supposed to do that. Anyhow, so you have your pieces there. Throw this in the trash. And just like The peppers are actually going to go lengthwise with it. And I don't care if there's a little bit of rind or whatever. It's not going to make such a big deal. But we're going to rough chop this as well. But you want to do it in strips. And it's just a lot easier to get this into your pot. Okay. And I am using a Del Strong knife. I love these knives, man. And I think I have a whole arsenal over there. And one of my favorite knives. And you're gonna just, rough chop it just like you do the other ones. Again, it's just a rough chop. Oop, come here, you. Yeah, isn't chili fun to do? I like doing it. All right, so get my handy dandy scraper. Come here, you. You too. Okay, and what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to cut an onion. And I think this is a good little tutorial. And obviously you have the root here. If you cut into this root right off the jump, it's going to bleed and it's going to make your eyes cry. Okay, so what I like to do is I'm going to start from the other end here. I'm going to go down. Okay, so it looks like that. You peel it downward. So that's what I do. Okay. And then now I already know what I'm doing. I'm going to go cut it lengthwise. And it makes it a lot easier to peel. Oop. See that? You want to get that outer layer off. And you expose all that good stuff, okay? Now, in an onion, you see these lines. Okay, this is where we're gonna be cutting down. Okay, we're gonna cut it in the finely chopped diced onion, and the best way to do it is you take if you go under here, I'll show you. You give it one sliver here, and try to get to the root you can, and you do one there, and then see. Remember how I showed you the lines? Here. You want to get towards the root. So those lines are a little guide for you. Now you can make it fine. Just make sure you hold it together like kind of like a tennis ball. Okay. And if you start to get a little wobbly, all you got to do is just push it downward. Same thing. And now you're just stuck with the root. Okay, so we're just going to scrape it up, put it in our pot. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pour in. I like to use Al Pato. It's a chili fresco. It's a hot tomato sauce, so we're going to add that in there. Okay. We're going to add in our dark red kidney beans, about 15 ounces, 30 ounces or so. We're going to go with chili beans, 30 ounces as well. Come here, you. We are not wasting anything today, guys. All right. We're going to go and do our light red kidney beans. We're going to do 30 ounces of that because we want a different color mixture of beans. It gives a nice presentation. Okay, here's the other batch of the light red. Then we're going to go with our black beans. And again, folks, I'm going to put the description of what we're utilizing today so that we can do it at home. Now, when it comes to tomatoes, guys and gals, I like to use San Marzano tomatoes. They give it a sweeter bite to it. all around, I just love using this. Okay, some other people use different things. Go with what you want. Okay, so I'm using crushed tomatoes of San Marzano, and that's going to be a 28-ounce can. Okay. Then last but not least, we're going to do peeled tomatoes of San Marzano. Okay, as you can see, look at the texture of that. Okay, and I like to put it in just like that, and it's going to diminish when it cooks for a very long time. So let's go ahead and put these away real quick. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our dry ingredients. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of cumin. Okay, we're going to put granulated garlic, 2 teaspoons. Okay, we're going to put onion powder, 2 tablespoons. All right, I like it spicy again, so I'm going to go 3 tablespoons of cayenne pepper. So we'll go ahead and throw that in there too. Okay, then we're going to put in 2 teaspoons of red pepper chili flakes. And we're going to use about 10 cloves of garlic. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put this into the actual crock pot itself. This is the main dish. Right? And I'm going to start the slow cook, and I'm going to do this for 12 hours. Okay, and I'm going to hit start. We're not quite done yet though, okay, because we still got 2 more elements we got to do. Right now, we're going to go ahead and cook our hot pork. Okay, spicy, that's why I like it. It gives it an amazing texture. Let's go ahead and crank up the stove. We got this at medium-high heat. We're going to let this get hot for a second. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get some brisket cut up, because that's going to be the start of the dish. Okay. All right. So I like to leave all the fatty pieces in there as well, because fat is flavor. Okay. So let's go ahead and give it a nice rough chop. And I like to put nice little pieces into it. You know, anytime you take a bite of chili, you want it to be, you know, very, very savory when you bite into it. Okay, that nice bite-size pieces is what you want. So if you take a look at it, do they look like bite-sized pieces? Yeah, I think so. Especially when you get the beans and all the awesome vegetables that are in there. And these are smoked. I mean, the flavor is amazing. You can kind of eat this as is right now, even though it got refrigerated. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish chopping these bad boys up. So we got about 1.5 pounds of beef brisket right here. Okay, and let's go ahead and get back over to our pan, and it should be hot right now. Wash my hands. I like to stay clean while we're doing this. Okay, and it is hot. You can see the smoke already coming from the pan. Okay, just gonna put a little oil. Just about 3 teaspoons. Not a big deal. And I like to use the whole thing, the grease and all, when I'm dumping it in this pot. Okay. Lay it away from you, so that way it doesn't splatter and get you all, you know, burnt out in your eyes. Okay. And we're trying to maximize flavor. Okay. Again, this is 1/2 pound of pork, and it's the hot kind. Get it at any local grocery store, and I could give it a quick little sear on one side, and I'll flip it. Then I'm gonna start cutting it up and just chop it up like you would do like spaghetti or something like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and give that a second. And when you flip it over, you can actually put your hand, so it's okay. Okay. Now some people put some pepper or whatever. You don't need to put salt, because pork is naturally already built in salty. So I wouldn't put any salt in that. However, we will be applying that into our chili. Okay, so that's about where I want it or so. If you take a look, see that? And pork will go quick. Okay, so let's let that marry with the oil. And smell is amazing right now. All right, so that's all about what we're going to do with that. What we're going to do is we're going to take this, and we're going to put it in our crock pot, get it over the spices, including the fat piece as well, because again, fat is flavor. You can omit that if you want, if you're trying to be healthy or whatever. But one thing I forgot to cover is all the vegetables that we utilize in this chili batch they're all non-GMO. They're fresh ingredients right from the farmer's market, okay? So what we're also gonna do is we're going to take our brisket and we're gonna put that in here as well. Okay. Okay. And we're going to give it a quick, nice little stir. At the end of this 12-hour cook, you will see tomorrow when we get back into this, you're going to notice that all of the juices had fermented and they all married together, and it's just going to look really, really amazing, folks. And this is how I like to do chili. I did forget one ingredient, and we're going to add that here in a little bit, is we're going to add a couple teaspoons of sugar as well. And what it does is it's going to break down the acidity of all the tomatoes that are in here and the crushed tomato sauce that's in there. Okay. But I mean, if you look at this, God, I think it looks amazing. You got the pork in here, you got the brisket, you know, you got five different peppers, green, orange, yellow, and you know, the bell peppers, and of course the onion. All right, so now I'm gonna give you a couple tablespoons of sugar as well, just to break up that acidity, and we're gonna, of course, steal that into as well. And you can even go as further as to even add in a little bit of hot sauce, but I don't need to do that. I mean, I've already got the cayenne pepper already in there. Okay, and the juices are they're gonna multiply by tomorrow. Okay, and I can't wait to show you that part. Okay, perfect. Okay, and you know, you don't have to do it my way here, guys. That's a little bit of pepper as well. And we're going to add in some salt. I'm not measuring that part, but just get a couple teaspoons in there. Okay. All right, so now we have made our chili, and this is going to say goodnight for about 12 hours or so. Okay. So, but let's go ahead and recap what we did. What we did was we took all of our vegetables. We had the serrano peppers, the jalapeno peppers, the bell peppers, the habanero, okay? We finally chopped it up. You can do as small or big as you like, depending on, you know, how you like to eat your chili, okay? Additionally, we fried up some hot pork, and we also had brisket. We threw that in there. We also threw in all of our dry ingredients. And that gives it all the aromatics that it needs and the kicks and the spices that you would want, okay? So tomorrow, we're gonna wait 12 hours on this thing, and I'm really excited to show you what I have, okay? So stay tuned, and I'll see you in about 12 hours. Okay, so now we are back, friends. What we did was we made our chili yesterday. It's been in the crock pot for about 18 hours, but I want you guys to see what it looks like and the texture. And but as you can see, the liquid had like quadrupled in size, thus making it really good to ferment all the spices and the beans and all the meat together, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at it and see what we're working with here. I mean, look at that. It's thick. It's meaty, creamy. Is that word? Is that a word? Is that a word? Even my cameraman's like, I don't know about this one. But look at that. Okay, so now it's time for backyard privilege. Just get a couple of scoops in this. Okay, I love our little spoon, but I mean, I can already smell that smoked brisket. Okay. Look at that. All right. Just gonna close this lid. Let's clean it up for you. So now that we have our chili, it's about time for backyard privilege. But before I do, let me tell you, you can make chili with a lot of things. You got chili corn dogs. You can make burritos out of them. You can even take like a French bread or like a sourdough bread, make a chili bowl out of it. So there's like hundreds of things you can do with this. But let me tell you, this is how I'm going to plate it. And I did shred my own cheddar jack cheese, and that'll be in the description below. So I'm going to do this. Get a nice little handful there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put some sour cream. Okay, just a little more. I love sour cream. Perfecto. And then I like to top it off with what I'm cooking with, which is jalapenos. And we're going to end it with a jalapeno. Okay, folks, so it's time to dig into my backyard privilege, right? That's what we do when after you cook, you get privilege. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm hoping I taste all the flavors that I normally taste, so let's check it out. I wanna make sure I get those beans, all those peppers. Come here, you. I wanna make sure I get that brisket in there. Yes, I'm getting a lot of smoke. That brisket is fantastic. It's moist. It's like it just came out the smoker. The pork, it gives it that grindy texture. That's exactly what I was going for. The spices are remarkable, and the flavor. Flavor is, I knocked it out of the park. Boom, it's out of there, right? So, listen guys and gals, my hungry friends, if you guys like this channel, please let all your family and friends know. Subscribe to our channel, and if you like this video in particular, ring that bell. So until next time, Rolo signing off with Hearty Comfort Meals, and I'll see you again soon.